Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Biggie546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. Let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, first things first. Shout out to Sterling Shepard. I had to throw on the We Throw Them Things shirt. I'm pretty sure he got signed like the Patriots or something. But anyway, today is about Evan Neal. Today's about Evan Neal, and I think the writing is on the wall for Evan Neal as a first round pick. Just 3 years ago or 2 years ago, 2022. Evan Neal was drafted, and this is his third season. And what's my assessment of Evan Neal? Well, first off, coming out of the draft, I thought Evan Neal was probably the best tackle in that draft. The other tackles have struggled as well, so it looks like we all kind of struck out on that. But I thought that Evan Neal was the best tackle. I really did, and he doesn't look like it. He doesn't look like a good tackle. His feet are choppy. Something that I have seen in college that I also see in the pros is his balance is horrible. Evan Neal fell a lot in college, and I'm like, okay, that's something he can kind of clean up when he gets to the NFL. He still falls. He still has very, very questionable balance. He's not a quick twitch tackle. He's not that, guy that you think of when you say pass protecting tackle. But when you look at him at Alabama, he's going against star edge rushers, guys who are quick. And he's just so physical with him. He's getting his hands on them. And he just cannot keep up with NFL edge rushers on a consistent basis. And let's say when he does keep up with NFL edge rushers, he has an ankle issue. And once that ankle flares up, Evan Neal becomes literally the worst tackle in football. And this isn't me just saying this. This is me saying what, all of your analytics places are saying as far as the pressures he gives up. And just how it looks over there. It's an albatross. Whenever his ankle flares up, and he's not a guy that can have a bad ankle and play the season and play good football. He's just not. Which brings me to him having his ankle surgery and finally getting that fixed. And I was excited. But here we are in training camp. First couple of practices with pads on. Everybody's out there going at it. And listen, this is not Evan Neal's fault that he's recovering from injury. But let's keep it real, folks. The NFL is a not-for-long league, first off. Second of all, the NFL, it is a league, more than almost any league, where if you come out, especially if you're one of these positions where quarterback, maybe starting running back, but quarterback, left tackle, right tackle, one of these positions where you're the guy at that position. And if if you get benched, Evan Neal is not penciled in to be a starting guard. So he has absolutely got to get back from his injury. I know they're going to slowly bring him back, but just think about this. The Giants have been trying to fix their offensive line for the last 10 plus years. It's been horrible for over 10 years at this point. And they've been trying to fix it. So if the guy we just signed that played next to Illuminor last year, Greg Van Roten, if he comes out there and he's your starting right guard and Illuminor's your starting right tackle and they're solid over there and JMS is doing his thing and AT's doing his thing and Ryan is doing his thing, pretty sure Ryan is playing right guard, but maybe they move some things around and just get that chemistry with Van Roten and Illuminor. But anyway, if they have 5 guys in there that are playing great football, I'm sorry. They're not going to go back to Evan Neal. They're just not going to be able to do it. They're not going to go back to Evan Neal if they have succinct, great offensive line play. And that's the thing that's scary for him, because it's scary for all of us because he is a top 7 pick. Someone that we penciled in as a future Pro Bowler. And we said at worst, he's going to be an average right tackle in the NFL. There's no way we can miss on this. We got Tibbs. We got Evan Neal. There's no way we can mess this up. And it seems like he may lose his job this year and have to hope, sadly, for someone else to get hurt for him to try to get that job back. So at this point, he's got to be hoping that Van Roten and Illuminor don't look good in the time that they get while he's injured, and he's got to try to get back as quick as possible because Evan Neal right now is facing. He's facing it, man. Like he's facing it. I'm trying to think of that tackle. I think his name was Isaiah, not Isaiah Simmons, but Isaiah something. And I'm sure somebody will probably look it up and correct me in the comments. But his name was Isaiah. He was an offensive tackle. The Titans drafted him in the first round, like maybe 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And within a year and a half, 2 years, we signed him. And he was a non-factor. He couldn't even get onto the field. I think he was on our practice squad. He couldn't even get onto the field. And that's how quickly you can go from a first round, highly touted pick to being someone who just is taking up space, being someone who's a journeyman. And I don't wish this for Evan Neal, but he has got, when he does get his opportunity, he has got to look night and day better than he did before. I hope that ankle was the only thing that was holding him back from progressing. But if it's not, we may have seen the last of him, barring injury to Illuminor. We may have seen the last of him, at least at right tackle. Now, a lot of people have talked about moving Evan Neal to guard. And that sounds cool in theory. I mean, you know, let's move him to guard. But when I think about it, first off, I don't think we'll have this problem with a guy like Daniel Jones, but who knows who the quarterback will be next year? Who knows? Who knows any of this stuff? Evan Neal playing guard, he gets in the way of throwing lanes. First off, he's going to be in the way of throwing lanes. Second, he does not have a great punch. He doesn't have those strong hands at the point of contact and pass protection. He's not a mobile guy. He's kind of clunky, lumbering. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be pulling. He's not going to be a guy that's getting to the second level. He's not a guy who's able to have, you know, anchor in and have a strong base. So people just say guard because they just assume guard is easier than tackle. He can just play. But guard is a completely different position than tackle. It's a reason why some people are Pro Bowl guards. Some people are Pro Bowl tackles. It's not because, oh, you could just move a Pro Bowl tackle to guard and he's going to be an all-pro. Maybe, you know, he's just that good at playing offensive line. But for the most part, they're two different positions. And it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate because I'm not sure that a guard spot is the right spot for him. I think they've let him play. He hasn't really shown up, but I think his best position is probably tackle. He's going to have to be a tackle at vertical sets because he does not have that foot speed to keep guys from running around him like that. And he's going to have a strong inside hand. That left hand is going to have to be on max strength. It's going to have to be specced out because he's going to have to be able to, knock the heck out of anybody that's trying to bull rush him. He's a big guy. He's a strong guy. He's a hard worker. We all look at Evan Neal and know that this guy is not someone who's not locked in. He's not someone who doesn't care. So he's got to be able to get that vertical set going and be able to anchor in against those bull rushes because if he can't, you might be looking at Jermaine Illuminor as your starting right tackle for the next 2 years, and they're going to be looking for his replacement for their long-term replacement down the road because the Giants are absolutely not going to go out there with great offensive line play and then sub Evan Neal back in coming off of an ankle injury. So let me know what you think of this whole situation. Ideally, I would want Evan Neal to come in and be a Pro Bowl player and be great and never come out for us. But at the end of the day, we got to fix this offensive line by any means necessary. You all let me know what you think down in the comments. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.